Boys, welcome back to another YouTube video coming to you from a dodgy balcony somewhere in Malta. In today's video, I'm going to be going over my number one fat loss tool, fat loss hack, fat loss technique, what I've used with myself and hundreds of clients to get extremely lean, not only get extremely lean, but stay extremely lean, and that is calorie banking. I want to dive into it today, tell you exactly how I do it, how I've done it so well with everyone else, and hopefully you can use it and get lean like your boy. Let's dive in. Now, we all know that when it comes to losing body fat, without making this one of those, it's a deficit video. We all know when it comes to losing fat, we need a deficit for a prolonged period of time. The person that gets leanest is the person that can adhere to his deficit or her deficit for longest, okay? That is it. Who can stay in a calorie deficit for longest? That person will get leaner and leaner and leaner. Obviously, there's muscle retention, there's dieting, there's the food you're eating, there's protein intake, there's training and all that stuff. But if we break it down to its most basic form, if you can stay in a deficit for the longest amount of time, you're going to continue to lose body fat. The leaner you get, the better you tend to look, up to a certain point until you're too lean. We're not going there. Think about what we're trying to do. The goal is to be lean, stay lean, have the complete physique. This is what I always talk about on this channel, and to have a life in doing so. So we know that we need to be in our deficit, okay? So if you're eating 2,000 calories a day, because for whatever reason, that's what you've worked out, that's your deficit, that's where you're at. Now, if you're watching this thinking, yeah, well, I eat 2,500, then that's your number. Just pick your deficit number and let's work off of that, okay? The number one thing that you can do is stay within that number, okay? So if you wake up in the morning and you have 600 calories for breakfast at 6 in the morning, and then you have 800 calories for lunch and you're at 1,400 calories, and then you have 600 calories for dinner, that's 2,000 calories, and then at 6 p.m. you've had your 2,000 calories. It's not looking good, Brav. It's not looking good, is it? Let's be honest. We need to make it as easy and as maintainable or sustainable as possible to stay within those 2,000 calories or whichever your deficit is. Obviously, we can increase output to burn more calories, training. That's not what this video is about. By calorie banking, we can make our lives so much easier, and the easier we can make our lives, the more likely we are to stick in the deficit, which is the most important part, right? Is time in the deficit. So what I want you guys to think about next time you're struggling to hit your numbers with calories and things like that is calorie banking, which means you can do it in two different ways. We'll start with just in the day, then we'll talk about in a week, okay? Okay, look, guys, I've used this with so many people, hundreds of people. It's not even funny, it works. If you don't believe me, just turn off the video and watch another video. We know most people, the data says that they will blow their diet in the evening. A lot of us are nighttime eaters. Boredom, finish a long day at work, stress, girlfriend being annoying, just put on a long day at work, sit down, finally chill, put the TV on or jump on the computer. What do we want to do? Eat some food. And you can do calories like that. You don't even know it's happened. If you're a parent, yeah, you tend to have food in your house that isn't going to be great for you. I'm not a parent, so I just don't have shit in my house. But I appreciate most of the guys I coach are between 30 and kind of 55, 60 years old. They tend to have kids, have families, and you just got food in the house. And we only have so much willpower. People are very, very breakable, especially as you get deeper into the diet and you start to get hungrier, okay? Just broke the table. And you start to get hungrier. So if we wake up in the morning and we just get on with our day, yeah, we have a couple of black coffees. Like I love to have long blacks, Americanos, with a couple of sweeteners in there because it doesn't taste like shit, basically. Let's be honest. A couple of those, some sparkling waters, even throw in a Diet Coke or anything like that. Like with the water I have, I'll always put electrolytes in them so they taste decent. If I can push that first meal back, even to just like 10, 11 o'clock, and then have a decent breakfast, a high protein breakfast that's super filling with a lot of vegetables. For example, like an egg white omelette with loads of veggies. So you've got loads of volume, loads of maybe 2 whole eggs, 8 egg whites, loads of vegetables, whatever. If I can have a high protein, high veggies and high fat breakfast, it tends to be quite filling. And if I can push that breakfast to maybe 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, it tends to hold me, yeah? And from what I've learned over the years of clients, it tends to hold other people too. If you then go into lunchtime and then have, a big serving of protein with a load of vegetables again, and maybe you have some carbs in that meal, let's say you have a 4 o'clock lunch, yeah? 11, 12 o'clock brekkie, 4 o'clock lunch, and then you have like let's say an 8 or 9 o'clock dinner. Because you've pushed, and let's say you went 500 calories for breakfast, 500 for lunch, 500 for dinner, okay? You finish that dinner at 8 o'clock. By 9:30, 10, you might be hungry again. It is so satisfying to get to 10 p.m. at night, to look at your MyFitnessPal, whatever you're tracking on, or my app if you're a big dog, yeah, and you're big time, just saying, link below, and have 500 calories left. And then think, hold on, it's 10 p.m, I've nailed the day. Now I'm gonna eat something I enjoy. Now I'm gonna have a packet of crisps. Now I'm gonna have some chocolate oats with whey protein and peanut butter and turn it into a big bowl of sex. There's a load of noise coming from there. Sorry if you can hear that. Having that bowl of goodness or the sweets or whatever you crave, the cheap food you enjoy, and knowing you have those 500 calories at 10 p.m. makes your life so easy. There's nothing better than being in a deficit, eating something you love at like 10 p.m. and then going to bed at 10:30 thinking, yes, I've nailed it, okay? But I'm telling you, and that is calorie banking. You can call it fasting, all that stuff, but calorie banking sounds cooler, okay? We want to push those calories back to the evening. Now, you might be watching this saying, yeah, but Max, I train in the mornings, I'm super hungry in the mornings. Then obviously you would front load your calories, but then you better have willpower. If let's say you train at 8 in the morning and you want to have a big post-workout meal and a pre-workout meal, and you've done 1,000 calories by 10 a.m., in my opinion, you're going to struggle. But if that's your case, then you do 500 for lunch, 500 for dinner. You then need to knock it off after you've had dinner. You then need, let's say 7, 8 o'clock. You then need to try and hold out until the morning. And in my opinion, from what I've learned over the years, it's a lot harder to do it that way. Now, I'm not saying don't train in the morning. Train whenever you can, whenever you have the best workouts, train then. But I know from experience, after being extremely lean and working with hundreds of men, that it's great to try and calorie bank for the evening, okay? And when you do calorie, it doesn't have to be 500 calories. It can be 300 calories, or maybe it can be 800 calories, okay? That is how you fit in cheat meals. You don't have cheat days where you just blow it for a day and become a fat fuck and then get upset because you're 5,000 calories. No. Cheat meals fit within your calories are a sensible way to eat, in my opinion. Trying to go light in the day, so even skipping breakfast, yeah, another great way to do it is you skip breakfast, you have a super high protein, low carb lunch, very, very filling, loads of vegetables, loads of meat. That's super filling. And then when you get to 4 or 5 o'clock, you've got all of your carbohydrates left to play with. Then you can start having great tasting food in the evening and staying within your calories. That person is going to have a better chance at adhering to their deficit if every single night they eat something they love. And you can also do this across the week, yeah? So if you take that same person, 2,000, just clock the washing machines in the background. Place is tragic. I can't even deal with that, hold on. Didn't see it. If you take it across the week, okay? Let's say we have those 2,000 calories, right? If you go Friday, 1,500 calories, and Sunday, 1,500 calories, we have 3,000 calories available on Saturday. You pull 500 Friday, 500 Sunday, add the 1,000 to Saturday, that is 3,000 calories on a Saturday. Now, if you do that right, okay, and you then fast in the morning on Saturday, you then have a 500 calorie lunch on Saturday afternoon, you've got 2,500 calories on Saturday evening to eat whatever the fuck you want. Obviously, that doesn't mean you go and have 10 pints. Try and just be real here. You can eat whatever you want in that time. A pizza, you can have burgers, you can fit so much into those 2,000, 2,500 calories. It's then relatively easy on the Sunday to do 1,500 because you've got so much food in you. You're gonna have the best workout on Sunday and look the best if you're trying to get some like pictures after the gym. And then the total across the week is still 14,000. You don't have to suffer every single day, 2,000 hungry, 2,000 hungry, 2,000 hungry. Play around with calories to fit the week, to fit in with, that Saturday can be dinner with your girlfriend or your wife or your family. And then it like eases tension in the house. You're not always dieting all the time, and it can become a really important part of your life. It's a huge mental reset. It's a huge physical reset. It's great for recovery. It makes you feel good. It makes you have incredible workouts the next day. And your total across the week stays at 14,000. I would highly recommend calorie banking, guys. And if you want more, I've got so many little tips and tricks like this. All of the links are below if you're interested. I have my course where I've got 35 different modules where I go over everything from training to losing body fat to maintaining it to reverse dieting, how to perform exercises. Soon I'll be doing a weekly call in there as well. It's super cheap at $50 a month, or like $49. Not even a month, sorry, just $49. Should be $49 a month. Then obviously the premium coaching is a little bit more expensive if you want to get super serious and have me one-to-one. Had to throw the plug in. But listen, calorie banking, guys. Do it daily, do it weekly. It works really well. You shouldn't be living off chicken breast, vegetables, fish, tuna, and a protein shake every day. You should be able to eat the food you enjoy. I eat the foods I enjoy. I'm going for a carbonara tonight. I had a steak yesterday. I just fit my calories in. It allows me to stay in shape, stay lean, and look like this all the time, because I don't hate my life. I don't hate my diet. I'm happy and I enjoy the foods I love. But I have to do it in moderation, and I have to pull from somewhere in the week if I'm going to give myself a load of calories there. There has to be a give and take. You can't just load up and blow your deficit. Guys, if you found this video useful, give it a like, subscribe. If you want me to answer your question, comment below. If you want to buy all my shit, that would be cool. And if you don't, that's also cool. See you in the next one.